Hey guys, Jeff here, and today I wanted to talk to you about tensioning locks. Previously I've done a video talking about my tension tools, but I wanted to talk about how we actually use them, because typically we talk about two different types of tensioners. We talk about a top of keyway tensioner that is intended to go on the side where the pins are, and we talk about a bottom of keyway tensioner meant to go at the other end. But I wanted to talk about the ways, the directions that we actually tension. Now, how we tension is going to depend on the keyway. Here I've got the quick set. Over here I've got a Schlage. Now, I'm going to focus on the quick set because it gives us more options. My go-to lately has been my top of keyway tensioner, but that doesn't mean I'm always tensioning the same way. Now notice, right now I have this in the American fashion with the key pins up, and I feel like most of us will see the top of keyway tensioner used this way. Put into the top up there where the pins are. Typically worked with the pointer finger, especially if you're working in hand instead of in a vise. And so because of that, you're working in the clockwise fashion. But if the keyway allows it, this top of keyway tensioner, especially in these quick sets, can also be placed at the bottom and tensioned using your thumb. Because you have to think, for these door locks, we can open them going in either direction usually, if they're not attached to anything. And so now, using my thumb, I have changed to a counterclockwise rotation, so it's going to change my binding order. Sometimes I find just changing the finger that you're using, the thumb versus that pointer finger, is going to change the amount of tension that you're putting on. Now, similarly, sometimes I feel like it makes a difference to just flip things over. Now I've got the key pins down, still using my top of keyway tensioner. Notice that I haven't managed to pick this open yet, but this is one of the things I find, especially as a relatively new picker, can be helpful. If you aren't getting it open, change things up. Change your perspective. I felt like I almost had that there actually. So you do have to be careful using this in the bottom to make sure that you don't get caught up on the actual body of the lock itself. So now I'm picking down, and I feel like as pickers we sometimes get stuck in habits that the pins have to be top, or if you are from the other side of the ocean, the pins have to be on the bottom. And I say, there we go, why not change it up? Now I got it open. Similarly, I could put this top of keyway now, because the pins are on the bottom, and I could switch directions. And now I'm going with it at the top, which some people prefer. I also find that switching to the bottom is necessary if you want to try raking. Something else that I feel like is never talked about is for these bottom of keyway tensioners. Most people just talk about putting them right in there and applying some rotation. So usually we just put this at the bottom and we're using it that way, and we have to watch out for hitting the body. But I've found that one thing that can make a difference for me, and again, this is specific to this keyway, but because of this straight section here and here, I can actually place it right here, and at least with this one, I can now use my pointer finger down here. Now, you have to be careful because sometimes notice that the pick is going to hit. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Similarly though, I can stick it out this side if I put the pins down, push up with my thumb, and now I can go this way. So, pins up, pins down, clockwise, counterclockwise. There we go, I got it counterclockwise now. you've got lots of options, especially when it comes to quickset. With Schlage, your options are a little more limited, and so you just have to look at the keyway and think, what can I do? Obviously, we can do clockwise, flip this over, use my thumb to do counterclockwise. I found that because of this angle in Schlage, you usually, if you get it just right, you might be able to do the counterclockwise with the thumb. Flip it over. It's a lot harder to really get that wedged in to do clockwise with the pointer finger. Again, depending on the thickness of your pick, I found sometimes I can use my bottom of the keyway in here. I can go clockwise, flip it over, I can go counterclockwise. So, reason I say all this is just for us to think a little outside of the box. Try different ways. See how you can get that tensioner stuck on there, how you can get some secure hold to pick. Don't get stuck in those names. Those names are only suggestions. A lot of times, changing your perspective from top to bottom, from counterclockwise and clockwise, flipping it so the pins are upside down, sometimes that can get you the open. So I'm curious to know if there's any non-standard ways that you have used your top of keyway or bottom of keyway tensioners. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.